I mean, if you liked the Sistine Chapel or
not to be grandiose about
it. This might, I don't mean to put historical works to shame, but if the shoe fits.
Well, what about what's going on deeper under the surface? Because we all know beauty fades and beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but UI functionality is forever.
Strongly disagree. Beauty is really in the utility and spice of life, which we're bringing both in spades.
I didn't ever intend for this episode to become a janky collection of...
Janky?
platitudes and sayings.
Hi, I'm Joe Beal, the founder and CEO of Microcosm Publishing. I'm also the author of A People's Guide to Publishing, which distills what I've learned from selling millions of books over the past 28 years.
I'm Ellie Blue, the Vice President of Microcosm. We started this podcast to share what we've learned with newer publishers, so you can learn from our mistakes. Or maybe you just want to learn about the publishing industry.
This week, we're going to tell you about a very important new feature we're doing.
Joe, tell us about what happened 14 years ago.
We had our most recent website redesign. I mean,
what can really change online in 14 years?
Well, and then this is just is it called the skin still? It used to be called the skin.
I haven't heard that term, but that doesn't mean that people don't use it. It sounds a little creepy, though.
Mm-hmm. And that just means, it's the surface of, what you see of the website, because, most of the website is, database coding and all these relational records and that. And so the user portion of the website is what we redesigned in 2012.
I think we call it the front end nowadays.
And, for the past year, we've been working on the new front end of our website.
And then what happened in the last week?
Well, we thought it was about time to let other people experience the joy that we have known, which is our new website.
Yay, new website. So it's not just a new website, though, is it?
Oh, nothing is ever a new website.
It's not just aesthetic. Tell us about the aesthetics, but then,
it's beautiful.
What goes deeper?
I'm just saying, it's beautiful, and beauty is really in, how well something works, how well it delivers you to where you're going, and we are doing that.
So how does it work differently?
So there's a number of key things here. Right now, in the past, from such weeks as last week, you may remember that you couldn't, you may have never even known this, but you couldn't order inventory that we had in any warehouse other than in our Portland warehouse from the website. And then our customer service people would have to work on the back end to reallocate things applicably. Our industry is run by billionaires and conglomerates.
At Microcosm, we wanted the freedom to independently sell our books, easily pay royalties, manage our inventory, and understand our business all in one place.
That's why we've been using our own software since 2001.
Now, we want to share it with you.
Working Lit is the only business success software that is created and owned 100% by publishers for publishers.
Join Working Lit and get the agency you need to help your business grow.
Visit workinglit.com to try it for free. A lot of that is because when we designed our website in 2001, our Portland warehouse was our only warehouse. And it was in a different building. But so we need the versatility now because we have inventory everywhere from Canada to Australia to, the EU and the UK and Cleveland, most importantly, where we ship the majority of our volume from. So we thought website orders should be able to order from there as well. And then a couple other key things. The number one complaint from customers was that they would go to our website, and our old website, which you remember from such weeks as last week, would show you what was newest in our catalog. And because of, again, this was designed for a much, much smaller volume of stuff happening, we would essentially rig what was newest to show you what we wanted to show you. And realizing now that's not actually a very effective way, because customers would complain all the time and be like, why is it showing me travel books?
Right. Like,
I'm a children's store.
Why is it only showing me stuff I don't want?
Why? Or, and then you get a lot of like very entertaining lectures and questions from people that are like, this witchcraft stuff is nothing to joke about. And this is serious business and things like, and so, and you're like, okay, so what I'm hearing is we need to better segment what is shown to each person based on what their actual interests are, because sure, you could find stuff that's inapplicable or even objectionable, and I think that's kind of the beauty of it. But what we actually need to be doing is, showing people like books that are relevant to them, whether they are a retailer or a reader. And so we added a new feature when we kind of looked at like, what's the most relevant slice? Because, there's 30-some thousand titles in our catalog. So what do we need to be showing anybody? And what I landed on was trending titles, which are titles in their subject categories that have had the biggest upward shift in the past 90 days. And meaning like things that are essentially like breaking their sales pattern. They're increasing in interest, as well as new items in their categories. We built this software from scratch to solve our own problems starting in 2001.
It's not only the reason for our survival, but the reason we've been a Publishers Weekly fastest growing publisher 3 years in a row.
Now we want to share it with you.
Join Working Lit and get back the agency to understand your publishing business, market and sell your books, and painlessly pay royalties.
Working Lit, doing the math for publishers.
Visit workinglit.com to give it a try for free.
So if they are a children's confectionery that has a regional main focus, they can get those books. And lastly, if we have best-selling, and they can look at that from all time or the past 90 days. So that's really going to help them, because that shows them essentially what is doing well and being well received for people like them. Again, whether that's a reader or a retailer. So if your interest was, in, let's say like you wanted like house and home books and gardening books, it would show you those titles based on what was being well received during that time window.
Yeah, great description. There's a button on the new webpage.
I like that you like my description better than my depiction of beauty, but thank you.
The practical wins over the abstract every time, at least on this podcast.
So you do agree with me. Thank you.
I think you should tell them about your cool stuff button, though.
Oh, yeah. And then this was my other major innovation that probably made this take the longest.
Sorry, Nate. That's our developer.
And essentially what we did is we went in and we were like, this is the most important new feature, so we need to draw people to it. And so Nate very cleverly created an animation where it like slides onto the edge of the screen, and that so you don't miss it, because I noticed that when the newsletter slid onto the screen, it was like the most notable element. So I was like, okay, so this is what is practical here. And so it says, want help finding cool stuff. And then when you click on it, you can change your search and your sorts. So you can say what you are, what you're looking for, and then you can edit your search too. So you can say like, okay, those are the things that are doing really well for people like me, But I also have a strange personal interest in weird photography books. So let's add those to the mix too, and you can do that as well. Or you can say, like, it's going a little bit too heavy on books about boating, so let's scratch that and figure out some stuff that would be a little more applicable for me.
So come to microcosm.pub, play around, tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
What would you like it to do that it's not doing today?
What books would you like to find that you're not finding today?
And we'll hook you up.
That's the plan.
Thanks for joining us once again.
Please send your questions to podcast@microcosmpublishing.com so we can answer them on future episodes.
And please give us 5 stars on iTunes and everywhere else that podcasts are reviewed.
You can find us on the internet at microcosm.pub,
On Twitter at Microcosm,
on Facebook at Microcosm Publishing,
on Instagram at Microcosm_pub.
and here in Portland, Oregon on North Williams Avenue.
Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful week.